And we're back, and we're talking about the citizen lobbyist now a little bit. We talked a little bit about what you guys do and the expertise and why folks would hire you, but you don't have to hire a lobbyist. You can come up here to Tallahassee, or folks that live here could come in here and lobby. There's a process. You can you fill out a card. Tell me how a citizen lobbies. I mean, I've seen it happen, but tell viewers and folks watching, like, if they don't know, how do you lobby your legislature? There's hearings, but there's also meetings in their offices.
Yeah.
Sure. So, if you've never done this before, there is a website. It's Online Sunshine, that will publish notifications of all the committee meetings and what the topics will be at those committee meetings and bills and legislation that the committee will be hearing about. And if you're interested in a particular issue as a citizen, you would keep track of that, and at the appropriate time, show up at the Capitol and fill out an appearance card for the committee, and you can say your piece.
Yeah, and one of the things that I guess we didn't touch on a bit ago, but one of the things you guys do too is you kind of monitor developments as they go on, where a person who might be affected or impacted by legislation, if they're a client of yours, you'd like, hey, I just saw this bill get filed, and I know you're not actively involved right now, but if this gets into law, it could affect you in this way. Right. So that's one of the other things you guys can do is monitor and react. And there's folks that come up here all the time. We see folks testifying in these committee hearings. So let me ask you guys this. You know Brian Pitts. He's an ever-present figure in the Capitol. He is a lobbyist. He is a citizen activist. And he is ever-present in a lot of different committee hearings, as you mentioned. And I don't know that he has clients for everything that he testifies on, but he is one of those folks who truly takes his civic duty to lobby his legislature seriously. Yeah. Is he good for the process?
Listen, Brian is entertaining.
Yes.
He reads the staff analysis. He gets up.
He's well informed.
He's well informed. He makes good points. Half the time. But I would tell you that lobbyists and advocates do their work with members. They visit with members. They walk through the issue. They can tell them both sides of an issue. I mean, our job is not to get up and testify in 4 or 5 different committees in the morning and 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I mean, that's just,
right.
That's not an effective
relationship. Is what you're talking about. Is that expertise too? That to be able to deliver those expertise and those points that are needed to counter this or to educate on that. And he's doing more of the sort of the pulpit, almost a bully pulpit on the citizen side.
Right.
Katie, have you ever encountered? Have you been opposite Brian on an issue before?
No, I've never been opposite of Brian on an issue.
Never had the joy.
But I will say, whether or not he's a good thing or a bad thing in these meetings sort of depends on whether you want to kill something in that committee or if you want to pass something in the committee.
So he can be useful in that way.
Well,
allow him to talk longer.
They're limited. The committees meet for a limited amount of time, and sometimes the clock just runs out. And on an issue that you might either be advocating for or against, and when someone gets up and takes up the amount of time in the committee meeting to make public comments, that can be a good thing or a bad thing.
And you can, and a skillful lawmaker can decide whether he allows him that to keep going or cuts it short or what have you. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
The reason I bring up Brian Pitts is only because he's a fantastic example of a citizen activist. And Ann Howard, my producer, does a fantastic job of interviewing Brian, and you'll get to see that next week on The Capitolist. So it's going to be great. Check it out. Appreciate you guys coming on, telling me why you're not evil. I'm not sure I believe you, either of you. But you don't look evil, I'll say that much.
It's the media that's evil.
It's the media that, I do agree with that. I think the media, the real legacy media is evil. New media, not so much. We'll be right back after this.